Barbie is a 2023 comedy film written by Greta Gerwig and her husband Noah Baumbach. It's also directed by Gerwig, and I'm a fan of her work. So I didn't know what to expect, though. There's a lot of the Barbenheimer phenomenon kind of got you hyped for both films, even if you're only into one. So I wasn't really interested in Barbie. The teaser trailer is basically just the opening of the film, so doesn't really tell you much about the plot, but the subsequent trailers kind of make it seem like it's going to be a wacky, fun adventure in the vein of the Lego movie. You even got Will Ferrell as the antagonist in a suit. But this movie definitely feels like a rug pull. Basically, we're following Stereotypical Barbie, played by Margot Robbie. She lives in Barbieland. It's a matriarchal society where women have all the important jobs, and they wake up and they have their routine, they party it up. And there are a couple Kens there too. They don't do much. They just sort of pine for the attention of Barbie. And there's also Alan. However, when Barbie starts having an existential crisis, she has to go to the real world in order to find out what's going on. And Ken stows away with her. They end up in the real world, but only for a little bit. And then eventually the plot sort of branches out into this really preachy and weird plot. I didn't like this movie. The movie didn't work for me. There was a couple funny moments, but it honestly felt like a really expensive SNL sketch. It really had some concepts. That the movie has great production values, but the story is really just unfocused. Whenever a large plot hole would find itself in front of the movie, a character would just be like, don't worry about it, it's fine, don't think about it too hard. It's like, I see that type of joke every week in Ryan George's Pitch series, so to see a big Hollywood movie use that joke like 4 times, I'm just like, can you come up with something better than that? Also, sometimes the jokes don't work and they reuse them over and over. So sometimes it's just not funny. Sometimes they're hilarious. Like there's this infomercial that just appears in the middle of the scene. It's the funniest part of the movie, but there's a lot of dead space in between there. A lot of the side Barbies or characters don't get any character development. Most of it goes to stereotypical Barbie, stereotypical Ken. There's a human character and her daughter, and then there's Will Ferrell's character who doesn't get to do much in the film. They don't get the rest of the cast isn't really fleshed out at all. So I don't want to get into plot details because of like spoilers or anything, but basically I didn't like the plot. It was very vague as well. Like it seemed to like want to convey a message, but then it was really like vague with how it works, or simplifying things into some really insulting terms, and just it was very ambitious, that definitely explores those themes of existentialism, which is great, but I thought this was going to be like a fun fish out of water comedy, for the whole family, and instead you get in this weird movie and they throw in like a ghost at the end or something. It was just, they didn't really lean into the Will Ferrell part of the movie at all either. And, Ryan Gosling is great in the movie. He's a scene stealer, but, yeah, I just didn't think it worked out, really. I mean, it didn't feel long, but I didn't like it. So I give Barbie a 5 out of 10.